king, I am not a god, I am Humpty!
What's good, Tano? Previously in Warframe, we did the Sayote, the level cap, and the Oraxia build for level cap. Now it's about time for the Spinnerex, the Oraxia melee signature weapon to take down level 9100 right and steep path enemies in Warframe. And if it can take down level cap, it can take down any level in the game. Let's go. Now that's Spinnerex. Don't forget to like and subscribe to for more content, as 79.9% of you watching are not subscribed. As always, before I build my weapons and my warframes, I rely on my method called DVS. It will help you create your own powerful builds. And if you don't like my methods on how to acquire an armor strip, you can check the sheet right here. Helps you maneuver around my methods to find your own style. And please stick to the community guideline for comments to keep it a constructive feedback. And remember, Tano, we take Revenant so we don't boost the weapon in any way. So you take it with Warframes that boost damage, you receive better results. And Warframes that doesn't boost damage, you receive same results. Simple as that. Also, I don't use any Rivens, so you can save your platinum. And even if I use a Riven, there is no guarantee you will find the same Riven with the same tier. So using Rivens, it doesn't make sense, but you can use them. It's just like the cherry on top of the cake. Also, level cap is not a show off. Level cap is actually very good to test weapons and warframes, since there is something called EHP, effective hit points. The higher level enemies, the higher HP, shield, and overguard they have, and that gives you the overall performance of the weapon, how it performs at the highest, at the prime enemies. Now, also, enemies at level cap, they get increased of damage output, so we test the Warframe survivability. So that's why we take things to level cap. You don't have to, but I have to show it to you like that, so you can see the performance and how the weapon actually scales. Also, check the sheet right here. It will help you about melee influence, how it works, and all that. Now, first thing first, Tano, you need to learn how corrosive actually work. 10 stacks of corrosive reduce enemies' armor by 80%. The first stack will reduce enemies' armor by 26%, and every stack after will reduce enemies' armor by 6%. And by running 2 Emerald Darkon shards, you push the stacks of corrosive from 10 to 14 to armor strip enemies 100% with corrosive sources, from weapons or helmet ability like Tempest Barrage. Now, if you plan on stripping enemies' armor with a helmet ability or Focus School, you don't need the 2 Emerald Darkon shards, replace them with something else. Now, the Violet Archon shards here for gaining 25% melee critical damage, and when max energy is over 500, the damage boost doubles. Simple as that. Now, we'll be running Tempest Barrage in there as a helmet ability with Viral Tempest, so Corrosive to Armor Strip and Viral Tempest to proc Viral. And I will show you a secondary weapon that I like to use instead of Tempest Barrage if that's what you want to go for. Now, everything else doesn't matter here except Arcane Fury for increase of melee critical damage. The Spinnerex. Now, unique trait. On death, enemies have 10% chance to burst for each stack of toxin, statue effect applied to them, spreading toxin damage. Makes it really, really good. I don't like the 10%. I hope it like more like 50% or whatever. Or just on death, like the blast works. Now, Calling Viper for the stance. Dreamer's Wrath enables Tanukai. Tanukai is a sword will pop on your screen when you perform a heavy attack. It will be free of combo multiplier. Increase opportunity chance by 50% and critical damage by 32% for Tanukai attacks. I really like the 32% critical damage increase. Condition Overload. To increase your damage per statue affecting the target. Galvanized Steel for critical chance. Not mainly for critical chance, because we could have used the Sacrificial Steel is better, but mainly for the critical damage 120%. Primitive Strike for Toxin, Vicious Frost for cold and statue chance, Organ Shatter for critical damage, Voltaic Strike for 50 statue chance, Blood Rush for critical chance, stacks with combo multiplier. Primed Smite Orkin is multiplicative damage against the faction you're fighting. You want to replace this every time you're fighting a different faction. And DE, please give us an NPC or just Barukitir or anything to just like trade all our faction mods for one universal. So it's not like free or a new mod, just like give us a way to trade for a universal one. Now, if you don't like to keep switching the faction mods, you can use the Primed Fury or the Primed Pressure Point, which one you really like. You can go ahead for that. Now, when we're running Electricity and Viral, both of them will be transferred to all enemies with melee influence. On melee electricity status, 20% chance for elemental melee statue effect to apply to enemies within 20 meters for 18 seconds. Cannot refresh while active. Now the status like Toxin, Electricity, Viral, etc. But not physical, like for example the Puncture, Slash, and Impact. And this weapon procs Slash as well, but I don't know why it's not showing anywhere in here, which is kinda weird. And there is a forced statue effect impact on slam attacks, but we'll see. Now, if you have a, for example, Riven with Cold, Vicious Frost, if you have a Riven with Toxin, Fever Strike, if you have a Riven with Electricity, Voltaic Strike. Now, if you are a new Tano and wondering how to get the Primed mods, first you need to know that they are normal variants, so you can just equip those. You get them from Barukitir, he comes once every 2 weeks. You need ducats from trashing the prime parts in any kiosk, in any relay. The galvanized mods, you get them from Arbiters of Hexes. After you play Arbitration and you get Vitus Essence, first NPC on the left in any relay. Simple as that. Now, Madurai is the Fox School I used for the Void Strike. 177 is the Amp. Raplak Prism, Purpose Scaffold, Citrus Blaze, Eternal Enslout, Eternal Eradicate for the Arcanes. This is my Nautilus Prime build to pull enemies with Cordon, Clone, Attack, Vacuum the Loot, Manifold for more Cordon, Shield, Armor, Health, Fire Rate for the secondary weapon that we're gonna prime with. I want to show you that in a second. Tenacious Bond for critical damage. If your sentient weapon has 50% plus critical chance, I use the best sentient weapon, Briglass Prime, and it needs a Riven for critical chance to reach that critical chance. Now, if you don't have a Riven and you want to activate Tenacious Bond, Prime Laser Rifle, Volclock, or Burst Laser Prime, and you'll be good to go. Now, let's get started with showcasing the weapon against enemies in Simulacrum. And we'll summon level 230 Heavy Corrupted Gunners. Now, I can summon level 230 because I'm Legendary 5 or Mastery 35. The higher Master you are, you can summon higher level enemies. It will take us 100,000 years to reach level cap in Simulacrum. Now, we're not going to be using the Tempest Barrage yet. We're just going to attack enemies like so. And remember, I'm using the Arcane Dexterity on my primary weapon. That's why you will see the combo is slowly fading, right? In case you're going to ask. Otherwise, you can use Naramon if you're playing like the survival mission and so on. And now, as you can see, the weapon is just like destroying them, honestly, like destroying them 100%. Now we are 11 combo multiplier. We didn't go for full DBS yet. We're like shattering them. Look at that. Boom. They're just gone. Boom. Easy as that. And as you can see, we're proccing Slash, which is not mentioned. I hope it's not bugged. Now we proc the Tempest Barrage. And I mean, like, look at that. They're just dead, right? Now, if you don't like to use the Tempest Barrage, it's okay. You can use the Compressor with Viral and with Corrosive. Thanks to the Emerald Archon Shards. Look at that. 110 million critical. Look at that. 110, 2 million crit. Yes, let's prime them again. Boom, 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 boom. That. Boom, boom, and they're just dead. This weapon is really, really powerful and will not disappoint you. Now, of course, you will ask about the Compressor Prime build. The build is in the channel, and here it is. I mean, you will not want to go to watch another video just to get. There you go. This is the build for it. Just about time. And the Shadow, this is the build I use for Shadow with Dexterity to get extra combo duration, but run Naramon if you're not going for Void Cascade. And by this we reach the end. I will give this weapon 5 out of 10. It's really hard in Warframe to compete with other melee weapons, especially the glaives. So the EU need to do a little better when it comes to melee weapons, so you push them forward so people actually use them rather than using everything else. But it's worth building and it's really nice and it's a bit different from anything else. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Special thanks to Hall of members, special VIPs, and the Hall of Donations, and everyone in my community. And I'll see you guys on the next video.